Hello and welcome to VOA's Red Carpet. I'm your host, Jackson Vunganyi. On the show, we bring you the latest news in film, television, fashion, sports, and culture from around the world. Let's go. And we begin with news of Lupita Nyong'o and Danai Gurira reuniting for a TV adaptation of Chimamanda Adichie's book, Americana. The two Black Panther stars will bring to life the award-winning book in a 10-episode series to be aired on HBO Max. Based on the best-selling novel by Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie, Oscar winner Nyong'o plays a woman born in Nigeria who lives for America, and how her journey involves love, heartache, and hardships. It's a tale that is simultaneously timely and timeless, and HBO Max is the perfect partner to bring this profound and celebrated story to life. Korea says that through Americana, Chimamanda brought the African female voice into mainstream consciousness in an unprecedented way. Now, while many of us believe that Beyoncé is a gift herself, Queen Bee has decided to give us a gift of her own, a TV special documenting the behind-the-scenes making of her soundtrack, The Lion King, The Gift. The documentary Beyoncé presents Making the Gift aired on the ABC network, taking viewers inside her creativity when producing the album, giving us a look at some touching moments with her children. Now, you may recall that Beyoncé called the soundtrack a love letter to Africa. The album was number 2 on the Billboard 200 chart when it debuted in July of this year, 2019. Lomme Fashion Week drew some of West Africa's top designers, showing collections from Ghana, from Ivory Coast, Nigeria, Senegal, and Togo. Under the theme, Africa, the next frontier of fashion, Kai Lawson has our story from the Togolese capital. Let's check it out.
West African designers in Lomme showed creativity and originality in colorful shows that included fabric loincloths, batik, raffia, and furs. Lomme Fashion Week promoter Fall Tauri presented a collection called Africa.
I am fighting for Africa. I am fighting for African textiles. I struggle to value everything we can find at home to make beautiful clothes. So I needed to be an example. That's why I call it simply Africa.
The show satisfied many of the fashion lovers who attended.
It was a rich evening in color, rich in creation. We enjoyed this edition of Lomme Fashion Week, and we especially hope that the designers will give again the best of themselves for future editions.
I appreciated all the collections that were presented. We found the evening very cool. The collections have been wonderful. Congratulations, and on to the next edition.
Despite the apparent success seen by the spectators, the fight for Lomme Fashion Week is far from won. The festival promoter wants to tackle prejudice and terminologies.
I do not like the terms African fashion. I prefer to say fashion made in Africa, because when you say African fashion, you ghettoize Africa. You ghettoize African stylist, because the white man who hears will believe that is fashion only for Africans.
Lomme Fashion Week promises to return in 2020 with more local fabrics and designers from across the continent.
And we have some good news for Jennifer Lopez, Cardi B, and Constance Wu, the stars of the new film, The Hustlers. For its opening weekend at the box office, the film brought in over $33 million, making it the biggest live-action opening of Lopez's 24-year film career. The story follows a crew of savvy former strip club employees who band together to turn the tables on their Wall Street clients. And for a female-led film which often struggle at the box office when targeting female audiences, this debut was better than expected.
I don't want to be dependent on anybody. I just want to be able to take care of my grandma, maybe go shopping every once in a while.
These Wall Street guys.
You want them drunk enough to get their credit card, but sober enough to sign a check.
I really want to see you go. Please help, it's my husband.
Diamonds
ice on my neck.
Yes, girl! You know, Tony wouldn't let this happen. I'm gonna text him.
Who gave her phone back?
It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood is a classic catchphrase in American children's television. And now actor Tom Hanks is bringing it back. A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood stars the two-time Oscar winner as Fred Rogers, who hosted the program Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood from 1968 to 2001. Hanks says that Rogers' mantra of kindness has been relegated these days to a buzzword that is not always clear.
I think what it means is if you give everybody a fair shake, if you understand that the person that is serving you or pumping your gas or is trying to come out and fix your pipe might have had just as bad a day as you had, that's just kindness.
The film is based on a true story of a real-life friendship between Rogers and a journalist named Tom Junot. Matthew Rice plays him in the film, which hits November this year.
I think the best thing we can do is to let people know that each one of them is precious.
Angolan singer Ruolando might be a new voice in the African market, but he's ready to spread the Angolan culture beyond the continent. Our own Myra de la Salette caught up with the singer in Luanda. Let's check it out.
If the musical notes and romantic melodies were not in his path, Angolan singer Ruolando might have been a business manager or an architect. But today, his name is a must-hear in the Angolan music scene.
I was always connected to the arts. Things started with design, not with music.
The music industry requires a lot of people to make things work. And Rui, who started writing music when he was 14 years old, felt that to make his first album, he had to go through several challenges and adventures.
I don't expect to lose anymore. I put everything together. I fought and fought and fought. I created things. I'm being honest with you. Every bad thing that happened to me ended up making me stronger, gave me more strength. I started writing better music. I started playing better. There was one day I woke up and decided to learn piano, and today I play piano like I've been playing forever. All of that motivated me. And if I haven't gone through all the problems, I wouldn't be successful like I am today. So, problem, I gotta thank you.
But this artist is not only made by his music. He also tried performing arts, participating in an Angolan soap opera.
I have never performed before. I have never tried anything like that. It was only that time and it went well. I fell in love with it. I'm ready for more projects like that.
Even though it is now a huge success in the Lusophone world, the song Prometo did not gain everyone's trust at first, including friend, artist and producer Malaria.
Malaria is a producer and also writes songs, so he is quite critical. When he heard the song, he was like, no, this won't be a hit song. You gotta start with a hit. The song sounds good, but I'm not feeling it. But I insisted and told him that this was it.
Ruolando wants more than just singing to the world. He is excited about protecting his culture and building his legacy. But in no rush, one step at a time.
I look at Latin music and I see many similarities with our kizomba and zouk. It is almost the same. The beat, the instruments, they are being original. They are singing their culture in different rhythms, and they might take over. One of these days they'll show up here and say kizomba is ours. And then what? What are we going to say? I didn't deliver not even 30% of what I can do. I have much more to deliver. And sometimes I get upset because I want to give everything at the same time. But you see, it's not like that. That was my problem. I needed to learn that it has to be baby steps. You crawl, you walk, and one day you run.
Mayra de La Salete in Luanda and Bárbara Santos for Voice of America.
Between hosting her annual Diamond Ball event and putting on the Savage X Fenty show at the New York Fashion Week, Rihanna has had a busy month, and now the singer and fashion designer has signed a worldwide deal with Sony ATV Music Publishing to cover the entire songwriting collection as well as future work. Her Hot 100 top 10s including Love on the Brain, Needed Me, as well as number ones Rude Boy and Work as some of her hits to be included in the agreement. Previously signed to Warner Chappell, Rihanna is the first to follow CEO John Platt to Sony ATV since he began in April. Platt ran Warner Chappell for 3 years before leaving the company last year. It is an honor to be reunited with her, Platt says. Amanda Broder works with fabrics of all kinds, but instead of creating clothing for people, she dresses up buildings with her unique style of installation art. VOA's Maxim Moskalkov has our story. Let's check it out.
Hundreds of sewn-together, brightly colored pieces of fabric hang across the Arlington Arts Center in Virginia. This is the latest installation from the New York artist Amanda Broder, who uses city buildings as her canvas and has already dressed up facades throughout the country, from LA to Washington, D.C. It took Broder 4 weeks to decorate the Arts Center in Arlington with the help of volunteers.
We're always looking for ways to kind of enliven or, enliven the outside, the lawn space, the building itself.
Broder never works on her installations alone. That's part of her philosophy. Instead, she gets help from volunteers. No experience necessary. Some have never sewn anything in their life.
Public sewing days for people to come and participate and to be part of the practice of making and kind of understand that process a little bit more versus just seeing it, say, the final piece in the museum, really understanding like how the artist works and how this creative process can be infused into our own world and possibly be inspirational for themselves. Using fabric really encourages people to feel more comfortable with the material. There's such a deep history of fabric being connected to quilting and clothing, which is all about loving people and giving them warmth and comfort.
Universities and churches, restaurants and arts centers, schools and libraries, any building can become an inspiration for Broder.
So the one that I'm most interested in is the project called Spectral Locus, which was in 2016, and that was at the Albright Knox Art Museum and in Buffalo, New York. And we covered 3 buildings, and one of them was this large church. The next one was this kind of abandoned transition building that was like a Sears building, and then the last one was at the museum itself. We had hundreds of volunteers, which was really amazing. It was kind of a project that really opened my eyes to see how many people we could connect with for one project.
Currently, Broder is working on decorating 6 buildings in the city of Grand Rapids in Michigan. Her biggest dream is to one day adorn the Statue of Liberty in her colorful textiles.
Post Malone hasn't been around that long, but he's already making his way to the top, literally, with the release of his debut album, Hollywood Bleeding. Debuting at #1 on the Billboard 200 chart, the album is not only the second largest debut this year behind Taylor Swift's Lover, but also his second album to reach that mark. And thanks for watching VOA's Red Carpet. I'm your host, Jackson Vunganyi. For more entertainment news, check us out at voanews.com, on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Until next time, goodbye everyone.